good morning, or rather afternoon. Welcome to another day of Vlogmas. I am vlogging super duper late today because today has been crazy. So it is like 11 something. I'm gonna give y'all a quick rundown of what has happened today, and it deals with the patient assignment, which I've talked to y'all about before, that I knew something was gonna happen sooner or later, that y'all will understand why this unit be getting on my nerves. So I got here this morning. There's like 2 float nurses for our shift. There's like 2 or 3 float nurses from last night's shift, most from ICU. So I got my report. I'm like a regular COVID patient nurse today. So my nurse to patient ratio was supposed to be 1:4, which it was. I got a report on all my patients. I didn't end up finishing report until about 7:30 because I was waiting on one particular nurse to come and give me a report. Y'all know how that goes if you're a nurse, how it is. So I got a report, right? As soon as I'm finished a report and I'm about to like start like checking in on my patients, updating whiteboards and stuff, because we don't do technical bedside shift report here. We do outside of the room to protect us. The charge nurses call us and tell us that they're going to change the assignment. That's where stuff begins to go wrong. So they changed the assignment, and now I am COVID IMU nurse. So at first I had 1 IMU, 1 COVID patient, and 1 negative patient who she thought was IMU, but who turned out not to be IMU when you look through the orders. So I had to give up 3 of my patients. I only kept 1. So I had to get report from the ICU nurse because she was taking care of the IMU nurse. So I got 2 patients and gave 3 away. So almost like a completely different assignment. So the reason this happened is because apparently somebody did not show up for work today in the ICU. So the ICU needed their nurse back. So we had to change the patient assignment. Now this is like a hot mess because with our unit, like I've mentioned before, if you've been watching my vlogs, we are like 3 units on 1. So we have COVID patients, non-COVID patients, and then IMU patients. IMU patients could also be COVID or non-COVID, but we're the only IMU here. So if they're not COVID, then they're still going to be with us. So lots going on. So she had to figure out, because each has a different nurse patient ratio. Negative patients can be 5:1. COVID patients can be 4:1, and IMU patients, whether they're COVID or not, are 3:1. So it took some while for them to figure this out. So once they figured it out, we do report and everything. One of my patients that I gave to another nurse is saturating in the 70%, right? So she goes in to check on said patient. Patient was only on 3 liters of nasal cannula, which is our lowest form of oxygen in the hospital. They ended up having to put her on the heated high flow, which is like 2 steps down from being intubated. So I don't know what was going on with that patient. We're still trying to figure it out. They did lab work on her. They ordered another chest x-ray, all this stuff to figure out what caused like this sudden jump in like oxygen demand. So that happened, and when that happened, now this patient is now classified as IMU, so then it went back to me. So I gave up my negative patient to the other nurse, and I took her patient. So, right, redo the whole assignment, or redo the assignment again. Well, not like a complete change, but we had to change patients again. So this is in the middle of med pass, and everything else is going on. So I already have medicated 2 of my patients. I went in to medicate that 3rd one I just obtained, and since the other nurse was behind as well because she had to change her assignment too, I was going to medicate the patient that I gave her to, like, you know, just be nice. So in the middle of me medicating that patient, I get a call from the charge nurse saying all available staff to such and such room. Such and such room is my patient. So why go in there? My patient was on the floor. So he tells us that he was sitting on the edge of the bed, which is true because that's how he was last time I left him. He was sitting on the edge of the bed, leaning on the bedside table, and then it rolled out from underneath him, causing him to slide and fall on his butt. So he did not hit his head or anything like that, but like I think it still counts as a fall. So I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble because there's no bed alarm on him, no floor mat placed. So we'll see, and I'll catch y'all up on that, seeing on what happens, whatever. So we had to get a Hoyer lift to lift him back in the bed because for whatever reason he's trying to say like he cannot move his legs, which is not true because we saw him move his legs. I did like an assessment on him, which I did one earlier, and he moved them. So then we did another assessment and he did move him. So I'm like, I don't know, but we got the Hoyer lift just to be safe, put him back in the bed. So of course with that comes paperwork. So So notified the medical doctor, notified the family, wrote a patient note, wrote a safety note, like all this stuff. So now at this point it's like almost 10 o'clock, and then I still have more meds to give because they added more meds in after my initial round. So everything is late. Also, there are problems going on. There's like, my report was not accurate. Like, one of my patients had a potassium of 5.8, didn't even have a chance to look at the chart because of all the crap that went on. So the other nurse had redrew her blood when we switched, and now it's 4.8. So this is the new IMU patient that I had got. So I need to follow up to see what was going on with her anyway, to why she ended up being on so much oxygen, because they already ran all the tests, so I need to look at the results. Now, my first COVID IMU patient, I had to bump him up a little bit on the oxygen because he was desatting as well. So y'all can only imagine, today is crazy, right? Also, my patient who fell, his 6 o'clock antibiotic wasn't given, so then I had to call pharmacy to see what they wanted to do. So I ended up administering it and then having to retime the rest of his medication, like antibiotic, that particular antibiotic. So now everything else is behind because one IV, some of this stuff is not compatible. So this antibiotic runs for 1 hour. Then I have to go back and give him immune globulin because they did a lumbar puncture yesterday to try to figure out why is he having this like numbness, tingling, or whatever's going on with his legs. So it came back with the protein was elevated. So now we're doing like antibiotics and immune globulin. So lots to do. I'm behind. I haven't even started on anything yet, but I wanted to come real quick and let y'all know what is going on. So I'm going to try to catch up some more, and I'll update y'all on what's happening. Just transferred my patient to ICU. It is like 6:30 something now. I'll fill you guys in after work. Man, let me tell y'all something. Today, like, hip slapped me across the face. So I told y'all all the drama from the morning, so I'm gonna catch y'all up on the afternoon drama because there was some. Basically, this morning put me behind for like the whole day. It doesn't make any sense. Like, even when I be behind, like, I always catch up. But today I was just behind. I caught up with like 2 of my patients, but the Guillain-Barré patient, the one who fell and was having the numbness and tingling in his feet, the weakness and all that. So basically, I'll just give y'all a quick breakdown of what Guillain-Barré is. RGB. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but basically it's like a neurological disorder that is associated with viral infections. Would you call it viral infection? I guess. So it's a complication that can happen with any virus. So COVID is a virus. So it's not a common complication, but it is a complication nonetheless. So basically, you'll start to get ascending paralysis, meaning it starts from your feet and works its way up. The problem with that is eventually it'll affect your lungs and your heart, and you're having to work way harder to breathe than you should be. When you work harder to breathe, your muscles will tire out, and then eventually some go give. So that was what's going on with my patient. So I was dealing with him all day. So y'all know I had that fall, and then for some strange reason, night shift did not give his acyclovir. So that was supposed to be scheduled for 0600. So all that stuff with the assignment changes and all that crap happened like at the beginning of the shift. So I didn't have time. Like, I was going to have to call pharmacy to see what they recommended me to do, like with the timing of the antibiotics and whatnot, because he had acyclovir, he had the IVIG, which is the immune globulin for the GB. Then he had the what is it called, vancomycin and Rocephin. So his meds, antibiotics that he had, were all going to take a very long time. So I think the acyclovir ran for like 1 hour. The IVIG ran for like 2 hours or something like that. And then the vancomycin, ran for like 90 minutes. So, you know, that's a lot of time, and I was already starting from behind. He had one good IV, and honestly, I should have just went ahead and put him in a second IV, but I didn't realize that those timings of the antibiotics was going to run like that. And I had like a whole bunch of other stuff going on today, so I honestly didn't even realize it. So we're just working with that one IV today. So I was just going to, like, pharmacy told me to retime the acyclovir for like 12 hours after I gave that one dose or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll just do it for the rest of them, and then that way it'll be like spaced better for next shift. So that was my thought process, at least. But this guy, he started having even more increased work of breathing. So he was saturating perfectly fine, 99, 100% with the 8 liters high flow nasal cannula. But you could see, like, the patient, like, he was using his muscles to breathe. Like, you could see his stomach going up and down with each breath. Like, he's like pulling from the bottom, trying to get air, even though like his oxygen is good. So like I said, GB is like with the muscle weakness and stuff, so that's not good for patients to do, because eventually they will tire themselves out and then their body can't keep up with the demand. So we put the BiPAP on him, had to get SAT ABGs, had to get like all these respiratory orders they ordered. And then we did that. He seemed like he was comfortable with that, but then I don't know who called the nurse practitioner, but someone called the ICU nurse practitioner, and she came up to evaluate the patient. And when she saw him, she felt like he should be in ICU for closer monitoring, because apparently they had another patient. Well, I got my mask on still. Apparently they had another patient with GB, and like they did not make it. So they were like, okay, let's get ahead of it this time, and blah, 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 blah. So we had to transfer a patient to ICU. So this is all like at 5 o'clock. I'm like, but luckily I had already caught up on my other 2 patients, and that one was the only one that I needed to really catch up on. So I transferred them to ICU. I gave a report to my night shift nurse for the other 2, and then, I mean, that was pretty much the end of the day. It honestly, like, I didn't expect today to be all what it was. As y'all can see, I could barely talk to y'all or even check in. Like, I was struggling today. I ain't struggled in a minute, and it wouldn't even been a crazy day. Like, I didn't even feel like the day was bad. I'm just like, it just, stuff kept happening. I'm like, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this vlog. I do have another shift tomorrow here, so it should be a little bit better, just considering the fact that I'm going to get the same 2 patients back. So that'll make the world a difference, because we changed reports so many damn times today. It's not even funny. So me starting off with the same patients, and I already know them and familiar with them, that'll already make a difference. So I will, of course, have 1 new patient. So there is that, but you know, not too bad. I'm gonna go home, eat some ramen, I think, and rest before tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Real quick, I'm gonna need y'all to like my video, because how y'all be watching my video and don't be liking it? Like, I'm gonna need y'all to like my video. So if y'all like my video, give it the thumbs up. If you don't like it, that's fine too. If you want to comment, leave a comment. Okay, now bye.